Business Sidekick.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of Business Sidekick. In the latest episode, I was talking about how you can spy on your competition. I told you about best spy tools, and I have shared with you LiveChat ways of gathering feedback from customers. From today's episode of Business Sidekick, you'll learn how to make sure that your website is effective, user-friendly, and fetching. I've asked our website experts to share with you their knowledge about web design and user experience. Regardless of whether you're going to build your website by your own or you're going to outsource it, you should be aware of the facts that we're going to discuss today.
Business Sidekick.
You have probably seen at least a couple of really seductive websites that you didn't want to leave. Maybe you liked the gallery of Mulberry handbags, or maybe you couldn't stop browsing through KFC menu trying to decide what to order. There is something that makes those websites awesome, and it's not only the looks, it's the overall design. A design that was made for you, a website visitor. User experience design or UX design is all about useful, easy to use and delightful websites. I would say that it's just as important as visual identity. The reason is simple. You can have the best application or the most beautiful website in the world, but it doesn't matter if people don't know how to interact with it. Here's a quick chat I had with Ania, our UX designer, about the basics of user experience design on e-commerce websites.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell us what's the mysterious UX?
UX is user experience, and basically it consists of all aspects of the user's interactions with your website or your product.
So as a UX designer, your mission is to make a website user-friendly.
Exactly.
Okay, so can you give us a few tips on how to create such a website?
Yes. First of all, do a proper market research. You need to learn what your customers like, or maybe not, and what are their needs.
Mm-hmm. So you already know that, guys, because you've listened to the previous episode of Business Sidekick.
And also don't forget about your competitors, because sometimes checking their websites or products to find the common features may be really helpful. For example, you can go to an online store with clothes and see how they handle with navigation bar, what are the categories and what sections, maybe other sites.
Okay, so when we were talking about this previously, you said that navigation bar is very important.
Yes, because your customers should be able to properly navigate through your website, and of course without any troubles or even, too much thinking about where to go.
Mm-hmm. It should be natural.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so are there any best practices to create a good navigation bar?
Yes, you can create something that is called an information architecture, and basically it's about organizing the content meaningfully. So when you go to, again, online store with clothes, you can see different categories for women, for men, and for kids, for example. And that's basically speaking the information architecture.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how about, pricing, about sites or...
Well, it
contact?
depends. It depends on
actually the industry.
On the industry. You can, for example, we have some software, and
you're talking about our LiveChat site.
Of course, because we are the best.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
And what's important for us and for our customers is all the information about products, so features, integrations, pricing, as you said, and maybe some case studies, opinions from our customers, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It makes the website more user-friendly.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Yes. Visual design. You need to remember about readability and transparency. You can use different colors and sizes of elements and different fonts to highlight the most important things. Play with contrast, but not too much, because your site still needs to be easy to read. And of course, you can separate different content visually. So, for example, you can create some columns, and the larger column has, more important informations, right?
Yeah, and the most important is, call to action, isn't it?
It's very important. You should always have it.
Yeah, but you also, for example, larger font.
Well, when it comes to call to action, it should be really visible at the first sight, at a glance maybe. And, well, the best example is checkout process in online stores, because there is one particular action for users and, of course, important for you. So it's, of course, checkout. User needs to do some shopping and pay for it. And what is really helpful is our call to action buttons, which needs to stand out. Maybe you can use a red color when you have, white or blue side, I don't know. And to sum it up, as long as you understand your users and do a market research and follow the rules I've mentioned before, so navigation or information architecture, your product probably will meet your customer's need and sell itself. But don't sit back and relax. Only constant optimization will result in returning and loyal customers. And even if someone is designing the site for you, you can always, check it because you have knowledge right now.
Yeah, it's a great mistake, isn't it? That people are creating their websites and they don't do anything with it for years.
Yes, it's actually kind of sad when I, searching through the internet and come to a website that looks like, oh my God, it's so 2002.
Exactly. So, guys, remember about market research, check your competitors, and remember about
2016.
It's 2016, and good luck. Thank you, Ania.
Thank you.
Let's sum it up. Do your market research. Checking out your competitors' websites can be inspiring for you. Make sure that your landing pages are optimized for users and that they have simple navigation and clear calls to actions. And once you have your website ready, try to test how does it work for you. Do you like the way you can browse through products? Do you have any problems with adding products to a cart? Does a payment go smoothly? Are there any unnecessary steps you could remove from the buying process? These are the questions you should ask yourself if you want your website to be usable and customer-friendly. And don't worry, you really don't have to have a great UX knowledge to evaluate if the website is usable or not.
Business Sidekick.
The next step in creating our website is thinking about visuals. Visuals are as important as a copy that you're going to publish on your website. So let's listen to tips from Julia, our graphic designer.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell something about the basics of designing a website? I mean, what should a person that wants to have a nice website do?
So first of all, do market research to find what your competitors do. But remember, do not copy. Your website has to be unique. There are a lot of platforms like Dribbble or Behance where you can find professional designers, and this is a perfect place for looking for the newest trends in designing.
Yeah, and inspiration as well. And can you tell us why the website needs to be so trendy and fresh?
It has to be eye-catchy, so visitor wants to explore your website and spend time there. If your website is unattractive and old-fashioned, it also means that maybe you don't care about improving your product or services.
Okay, and can you give me some basic tips regarding website design?
Design has to be simple. You should avoid using some unnecessary elements. You should use only few fonts and simple color palette. Maybe 3-4 colors.
And how many fonts?
Also around 3-4. Not more, it's maximum. For example, if you decide to use some pale colors, stay with that. Don't mix it with any other bright colors.
Is there a website where you can download, free fonts or something?
There is one which I really like to use. It's fontsquirrel.com. You can find there a lot of fonts for free commercial use.
And how about pictures? If someone wants to find nice graphics or photos for commercial use, are there any sites where you can find them?
Yeah, there are a few. For example, pixabay.com, unsplash.com or flickr.com.
Julia, as well as Ania, recommends doing a market research, checking your competitors' websites, and thinking about what you like and what would fit your brand's personality. Don't use huge images if you don't want your website to be slow. Always use graphics and pictures that fit the content, and for heaven's sake, don't use anything that blinks, flashes, or rotates. Don't ask why, just believe me that it's terrible. Remember about white space, so our website looks clear and aesthetic. Try to limit the number of different fonts to 3 and stick to the standard font families. I know that sticking to Helvetica or Arial might sound boring, but thanks to this, your website will look correct on more browsers.
Business Sidekick.
Last but not least, it's time for the technical aspects of your website. If you're crazy enough to try to build a website on your own, you need to get your domain name, choose your web host, and create your website, for example, on WordPress. You have to select a shopping cart. Choose your e-commerce platform so your customers can easily buy your products or services. Then you need to set up your store and set up a payment gateway. Oh, and you need to remember about the security, because your customers will leave their credit card details on your website. It's a lot of things to remember, isn't it? The good thing is that you don't have to know which hosting is the best, or what would be a better e-commerce platform for you, Shopify or BigCommerce. Luckily, there are other ways to watch over the process of building a website. There are companies like Wix.com, GoDaddy.com or Squarespace.com that will get you covered. That will make sure that you will get a professional website that will meet your customers' needs. But it doesn't mean that your job is done here. Before you approve the project, you need to put yourself in your customer's shoes and test your new website carefully. Ask yourself a couple of questions. Do visuals capture the spirit of your brand? Is the website aesthetic and clear? Is it easy and intuitive to navigate through your website? Can you purchase a product or service without a problem? Remember that other companies might be better in making websites or creating payment platforms, but you're the only person that knows your business best.
Business Sidekick.
Okay, that's all, folks. Thanks for listening. I hope you've learned something valuable from today's episode. If you have any questions or requests, please leave a comment. For more information about Business Sidekick, check out our website, livechatinc.com/podcast. Don't forget to sign up for an email notification to stay in touch, as I'm sure you don't want to miss another episode where I will share our insights into how to write a damn good copy for your website. Thank you and take care.
This podcast was brought to you by LiveChat.